Week 17 of the 2024 USL Championship campaign marks the halfway point of the season. Two clubs in different positions. New Mexico United looking to stay atop the table in the Western Conference. San Antonio FC looking for a reset as they move to the second half of the year here tonight on Bally Sports. As we say, good evening from the broadcast booth with Katie Goodman. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us here this evening. And Katie, as we hit the halfway point of the regular season, San Antonio FC and New Mexico United, well, they've got some respective work to do on both ends of the table.
That they do. And yes, you can see there New Mexico is leading the way in the standings, but they're still trying to work on that away record. I mean, a perfect record at home, but they got to handle business on the road here if they want to stay in that number one spot. San Antonio, it's been a struggle. We'll get to that here in a minute, but you know who's bringing the heat today? It's New Mexico United.
San Antonio FC has lost 4 consecutive matches in USL play for the first time since 2018. And Alan Marcina touched on the struggles for his club earlier this week.
It is clear, and you've heard me say this, we've gone through some extreme hardship due to player availability. This adversity is only going to make us stronger. We're confident with time. Players are going to be back. Additions are going to be made. You know, I always say it, if you're in and around that 80%, then we're more than capable of going out and competing and winning games and doing it on a consistent basis.
76 man games is amongst the most in all of USL Championship this season, Katie. The good news tonight, if you're a San Antonio FC fan, they're going to get some bodies back here this evening.
Yes, they are so happy to have, as you can see there, Hugo, Bonnie, Cisniega, Bira, Agudelo, just to have even bodies on the bench that they can go to. There were games where they were missing up to 12 guys at times and bringing in academy players. And the academy guys did so well, but you know that they're happy to have their pros back. And not only that, they also have Jorge Hernandez back. They have a couple of other pros back in the picture that wasn't in that last game, and so it's going to be a slightly different matchup. But again, you can't deny the quality that New Mexico United has, right? So it's going to take every inch of effort here from San Antonio.
Pablo Cisniega is not going to start tonight for San Antonio FC. It'll be another chance for Kendall McIntosh in net trying to stop the top team in the Western Conference. We'll have more coming up on the other side when we return here on Bally Sports.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
Sorry.
No, please, you take it.
No, really, you should.
Take your hand and be.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Starting at $6.99, it's the ultimate solo meal. Get a personal pan pizza or melts and your favorite side. Combo like you never comboed before. No one outpizza the Hut.
I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game.
Dad.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Tradition. It's what we share.
San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. And by Rico's. Hey, San Antonio, keep it cheesy out there. Vote for Rico's means nachos for all. There's a toasty final Saturday in June as the calendar gets set to flip into July 4th week. We take a look at starting 11s for both sides for the visiting New Mexico United, number one in the Western Conference, sitting on 28 points tonight. Greg Hurst tied for 11th in the Golden Boot race. He's got 6 goals. And 2 former San Antonio FC players returning to Toyota Field in Nicky Hernandez and Zico Bailey in front of Alex Tambakis. For San Antonio FC, a little bit of a different look tonight formation-wise. 4 in the back, 4-4-2. And Nelson Flores Blanco will make his Toyota Field debut here tonight after joining the club on their most recent road trip. He is the left fullback for the El Salvadoran National Club. So we'll get the start here tonight on the left side in front of Kendall McIntosh, who will make his 8th consecutive start. Mitchell Tainer, the captain for San Antonio FC. Big congratulations to him. Just played in his 100th regular season match with SAFC last Wednesday against Birmingham, only the second SAFC player to do that, along with Matt Cardoni. Center referee tonight, Matthew Corrigan. Assistants Ricardo Ocampo and Benjamin Davis. 4th official is William Hale. With Katie Goodman and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here this evening on Bally Sports. San Antonio FC and New Mexico United meeting for the second time this season. SAFC in their home black kits, pinstripe silver, black shorts. New Mexico United in their yellow kits here this evening.
Hard to miss that yellow, huh?
I'm hopeful that New Mexico United, at least their sense, is that those yellow kits bring them a W here on the road. They're perfect at home, Katie, as you mentioned before. 6-0, outscoring the opposition 10-0 at Isotopes Park. But they come on the road, just 3 wins in their first 8 matches away from home, and they've been outscored 14-8 in those 8 matches.
Well, you know, this is a San Antonio team that is really hard to judge here. And so really anything can happen. Of course, you want to bring your best, but you know there's hope.
Davion Flanagan off the giveaway, trying to service across, and it's going to deflect into the goal. And in the opening minutes, it's New Mexico United with the early 1-goal lead. They couldn't have asked for a better start here at Toyota Field.
Hope indeed here for New Mexico United. An early goal is just one way to put a big, huge gust of wind into the sails here. You got to feel for San Antonio FC. There's been so many breakdowns time and time again where things just don't fall their way, but really it's this hustle here from Flanagan. He's relentless. And then it's a smidge of a miscommunication there between the keep and the back line, and it just made its way there to goal. Doesn't matter what it looked like or how it got there. What matters is that it made it in the net.
That's Davion Flanagan's first goal of the season and his first career goal in USL Championship play. The 25-year-old who was originally a second-round pick by FC Cincinnati back in 2021, and the native of Baltimore has got the visitors on the board in just the 2nd minute here at Toyota Field. New Mexico United has not won in San Antonio since September of 2021.
Well, San Antonio has quite the uphill battle here. It's one of those situations where you just have to forget that even just happened and just keep putting your best foot forward and try to keep your own personal hope alive, because right now, not looking so good, right? But you know, when you look at the San Antonio team, all the struggles that they face, whether it's injuries or whatever, it's been their mentality that kind of keeps them around and in it. So let's hope they can bring that here.
Jorge Hernandez, the service, and that's a good ball, but it's headed wide of goal as Kendall Burks got forward from his center back position. And SAFC on their first opportunity on a set piece, unable to capitalize. There's Eric Quill in his 2nd year. He took over for New Mexico United back on the 13th of June last season. And ever since, United has gone 18-12-6. It's the 2nd best record in the Western Conference since that date, only to Orange County, who has 20 wins over that time. As for San Antonio FC, they only have 12 wins in the 36-match stretch since Eric Quill took over. So United has been playing some fantastic soccer. Meanwhile, San Antonio FC has been looking for answers, particularly here as of late.
And I believe I read where he recruited 13 new faces. That's a whole clean slate there for this New Mexico United team. He handpicked these players according to culture and to tactics, and he picked them well because they have just been really perfect at times. There's a couple of breakdowns you can see on defense here and there, but on the offense, I mean, they're running a clinic all over the USL Championship.
Mashokcho. And a foul whistle behind the play of the center referee Matthew Corrigan, and Nanan Husu, who scored the equalizer for New Mexico back on the 25th of May against San Antonio FC. This was after SAFC had a world-class strike from Luke Hawkinson early in the match to take a 1-0 lead, but then consecutive goals from Nanan Husu and then just a banger from Greg Hurst right before halftime that gave United the 2-1 lead and eventual win.
It was the really heavy nail in the coffin, so to speak, and it was too bad because, you know, San Antonio, you could see the hope and the encouragement alive and well off of such a beautiful goal there from Hawkinson, but you got to finish the deal. You got to keep that defense tight.
Hernandez going for goal, trying to catch the keeper, Alex Tambakis. A little bit out of position. Tambakis expecting Hernandez to clip one over the top. And instead, Hernandez trying to curl one back to the near side. It ended up going wide. Tambakis quick to get back over to cover that near side woodwork.
Looked like it just didn't bend quite the way that he wanted to. A little more bend and a little more pace. Might have done it, but that's a tall order when you're hitting from that distance.
Clarification, by the way, they are ruling the goal for New Mexico as indeed an own goal off of Mitchell Tainter, as Flanagan trying to playing the service across, got a piece of the keeper Kendall McIntosh, but then took a last touch off Mitchell Tainter. We'll see if we'll take another look at it one more time in just a moment here, but it is indeed ruled an own goal off Mitchell Tainter, which is unfortunate for San Antonio FC because they've had some poor luck in terms of own goals here as of late. Had an own goal which proved to be the difference in the match at Indy. 11 and a 1-0 loss against what at the time was the hottest team in USL Championship, 11, which had won 8 consecutive matches on this most recent road trip. And another own goal here early that has the home side down a goal.
It's moments like that where, you know, you want to say, man, that's some terrible luck. And, you know, it really is. But it also comes down to communication and crossing your T's, dotting your I's. And, again, just a rough season here for San Antonio. And, again, when all the things aren't going your way, this is when you got to dig deep. This is where you really figure out what your team is made of and maybe hope that you can rely on some of these guys who normally get a lot of minutes to come in and be a spark off the bench here at some point. But we'll have to have another look at that goal because here's Flanagan. He's going in, and the intention is so good there from Mitch Tainter. He's trying to get there. He's trying to close the gap that Kendall McIntosh wasn't able to get to, and it just deflected right off the tip of the toe. And, again, we've all been there. But you got to be, as Ted Lasso says, like a goldfish and have a very short memory and forget it even happened.
We'll get a corner here for New Mexico United as the run coming forward from Abdi Mohammed will result in the first corner of the match. It is an unfortunate own goal for Mitchell Tainter, but it is how it is ruled. And so here's United now up a goal here, still in the first 10 minutes of the match, and now looking for more. And the aforementioned Greg Hurst on the ball here. Service across will ride out, and San Antonio FC will have the throw. Okay, let's get to your keys for tonight, which might already be a little bit different here as we're 8 minutes into the match.
Right. Well, you know, starting out, my thought was be the aggressor, and I think right now it's pretty clear that San Antonio is struggling with that. It's their game to be on the front foot, to come with that high press. We've seen throughout the season where they just don't do so well when they allow other teams to attack. They need to get that high press mentality back. Looks like they're kind of working on it here.
There's Jake LaCava into the box. LaCava taking aim on Tambakis.
And then going back to just New Mexico, just staying compact in the back, getting out in transition. We saw it there. They did exactly that. They got out in transition. They put a ton of pressure, and that's what they like to do. It's either that or they're going to take some really powerful banger shots from outside the 18, whether it's Hosu, whether it's Hurst, or Nicky Hernandez. Anybody can take it here on this field from outside the 18. So between that and, you know, just being a little bit more stitched tight on defense. We've seen a couple of times where there's been some miscommunications between the center backs, and so cleaning that up, and they'll really be unstoppable.
Here's Bora. As we mentioned, one of several players back for San Antonio FC who either were injured or on international duty, as in the case of Bora, as he represented Guinea-Bissau in World Cup qualifiers and also dealt with a little bit of an injury as well. Zico Bailey He's got a prominent left foot here, gives it a go, and just goes wide with it as they slipped back on Zico Bailey and allowed him to pretty much weave his way to the top of the box right there and get a good opportunity.
And we've seen this a couple of times with San Antonio FC, just giving them a little bit too much daylight. And I think part of that is a lot of players playing out of position. Now, good on Zico Bailey for reading that, taking the space, going across goal, trying to go for the opposite low 90. Clockwork. Amazing stuff there from Zico Bailey, but San Antonio has got to close things down. If you saw that key early on, the one key I didn't get to for San Antonio is to close that gap between the midfield and the defense. I mean, a lot of times it can make the defense look really bad, and part of it is because there's just a bit of a disconnect there from the center middies. And again, lots of people playing out of position, so those kinds of things happen.
That's a handball and not on Husu, and the ball will come back here to the left of Alan Marcina and the San Antonio FC bench. It's been a tough go here for Alan Marcina and San Antonio FC over these last couple of months. They've just one win in their last 8 matches, Katie. That was the 1-0 victory back on the 1st of June against Memphis 901. And at the time, you thought a victory like that was, of course, SAFC was in the midst of all the injuries and the international call-ups. That could be the type of match that could turn your season around, but then they'd have a midweek match the following Wednesday against El Paso that they would drop, and then they go on this 3-match trip and they get outscored 6-1 and licking their wounds as they make their way back to South Texas.
It's just not the San Antonio FC that we're used to seeing, but again, as Alan Marcina had mentioned in the intro, it is a team riddled with injury. How many different lineups? Every game is a different lineup.
16 different lineups in their 17 matches, with tonight being the 16th different, and even going to a different formation. We know SAFC has often gone with 3 in the back, and tonight they go back 4 in the back, and he's even mentioned guys out of position. They tried running Jorge Hernandez as a 6 in a holding midfielder role. Not his position. If there's anyone who could do it, it'd be Jorge. As this service comes across, Tainer keeping it alive and headed away from harm's way. So now Jorge Hernandez gets back into a more familiar position tonight. Let's see if that opens up the offense for SAFC as Tambakis will come out and collect for the first time. Tambakis picking up his 4th all-time win against San Antonio FC in that May 25th victory. He's 4-3 in 1 lifetime in his 8 contests against SAFC.
Another big piece of the puzzle that San Antonio is missing tonight is Kevin Lambert. He plays that defensive midfielder role so well, and when you don't have him on the field, you can tell that connecting piece is gone, and San Antonio has paid for it. And then you got guys like Jorge trying to cover a ton of ground that leaves gaps, and but all things considered, you got to hand it to the San Antonio crew because they're just going with the flow here. They're just doing their best that they can on an individual level, and then trying to translate that across the collective. That's hard to do when you have a different lineup every game, because that's a different game plan every game, and I don't think 4-4-2 is the best formation for him either.
Well, and I thought that last possession right there, that was the old San Antonio FC. A direct ball from Mitchell Tainer, just trying to catch a runner upfield and trying to keep the New Mexico defense honest. And we saw San Antonio at the beginning of the season play a much more possession brand of soccer, and obviously the injuries and the players playing out of position, that's going to change that, but it almost appears as if San Antonio FC has tried to go back to what's worked for them in the last few seasons.
Yeah, if you look at the possession numbers in games, the possession is getting less and less. And, while there's not so much changing here on the score sheet for wins and losses and draws, but you can tell that they're trying to go back to a slightly more direct style of play. A lot of times, you think of the SAFC last season, everybody would talk about, oh, they don't possess. It's like, does it matter if you only need 2 or 3 connecting passes to make it to goal? You don't have to possess the whole time. And I would argue that that's maybe not their strong point. Maybe just be direct, move forward, do what you know and what you're good at. Yeah, we got new faces, but anyone on this team can make it happen.
Jorge Hernandez with a turn. Juan Agudelo. Mbora is looking upfield in the direction of Luke Hawkinson, and the throw awarded back to New Mexico United. United coming away with a 1-0 win at home last Saturday night against Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and boy, good on Talon Maples, Katie, who had maybe the longest flight of his life 2 Saturdays ago, coming back from Memphis after a very odd play with his keeper Alex Timbakis that turned into an early penalty for Memphis that was part of their loss against Memphis 9-1. As this ball will sail out for a corner awarded to San Antonio FC. And then Talon Maples gets to step up in stoppage time last Saturday night at home and deliver just the second penalty kick conversion of the season for New Mexico United on 6 attempts in their victory.
He just might be the lone PK guy. I mean, a couple games ago, missed 2 PKs in one game, and you know that hurts. You know that hurts so much, but you also got to hand it to Siaha, an amazing keeper who stopped those really amazing opportunities. He was just on fire that night.
Return trip home for Talon Maples, born in nearby Leander, just outside of Austin. I'm sure he's got plenty of friends and family in attendance here this evening.
Yes, actually, I'll hold that thought.
Chance here at LaCava. He was a big-time goal scorer a couple of years ago in Tampa, trying to get his first for San Antonio FC. LaCava had 15 goals in 55 career matches with Tampa Bay Rowdies before coming over at the beginning of June. This is Bura, and the first save of the game for Timbakis as he denies Bura from out top.
I like the vision that he had to take that from distance. I mean, that was really deep past the 18, but at this point, it kind of feels like you got to take your chances when you have them, and Burrow's really good at doing that. Now, going back to Talon Maples, he was one of the first guys I ever interviewed when I was starting my career, and I can speak volumes about his character, his kindness, his hard work. It was when he was making his way over to Toronto FC. Just really great player, and had loved watching his soccer journey. But look at this fire of a shot from Burra right through traffic, and sometimes it's hard when you're the keeper, right? You can't see it coming, you just have to react, and Alex Timbakis, just great job.
See that note up top? Alex Timbakis has just tied Evan Newton for the most regular season saves in USL Championship history. His 573rd, likely to break the record at some point here later on this evening. Meanwhile, commotion back in the San Antonio FC third of the field is broken up. Mashop Chol. And you see it, that Mashop Chol and Jake LaCava, well, interchanging a little bit on the left side here tonight. We really see Mashop Chol be more in a striker position up top. LaCava's been in that position much of his career playing in Tampa Bay, so we'll watch the two of them tonight, perhaps, Katie, interchange along the left side.
Yeah, and again, that just adds another piece to the puzzle. You know, as a coach, you can say, hey, here's the game plan, but I'm going to allow you two to work it out on the field, find some fluidity with each other, and I kind of like that coaching philosophy. It makes it feel more organic and allow things to develop as they will. But, you know, sometimes when you're moving in and out like that, it can be a challenge. That's where pockets can tend to open up, but communication is everything, and I think until San Antonio starts to get more of a consistent roster day in and day out, that's just going to be a challenge for them. And especially when people are just playing out of position. I mean, if you're born a striker and that's what you've played most of your career, it's hard to kind of break a lot of those habits.
Good pressure from San Antonio FC since conceding the goal as Talon Maples will volley that one along. And Kendall Burks back to Bura. It's tackled from behind and a foul whistled on Nicky Hernandez. Spent 1 year here in San Antonio. 15th overall pick by FC Dallas back in 2021. Hernandez, who joined New Mexico United last season, making his 29th appearance with New Mexico. Another chance on a set piece here for SAFC, who's had an abundance of them here in these opening 20 minutes tonight. A couple of corners, and now already this is their third opportunity here on the opposition side of the pitch.
No doubt they're definitely going to have to take advantage of every single set piece they get.
Shannon Gomez is defended out by Zico Bailey. Former teammates Bailey and Gomez.
That's both the fun and the tough part about being familiar with the opponent, is you know their mannerisms, you know their weaknesses, their strengths, and it's definitely an advantage.
Another corner awarded here to SAFC. Their third one coming up here already in this opening 20 minutes. By the way, that goal conceded by San Antonio FC, just the second they've allowed in the opening quarter hour of a match this year. They've been predominantly a strong first 45-minute team game. It's been the second half where things have really snowballed on them as of late. Hernandez, the in-swinger, that's a good ball. Tainer, back across the face, a goal. Settled by Hawkinson. And turned wide by Mashok Joe as it's awarded back to Tambakis.
Good on Tainer just to get on the end of that and redirect it. We've seen a lot of success from that very play time and time again here for San Antonio, but again, it just seems like within the scuffle, it's been difficult for them just to find the back of the net.
Yeah, they have, even though 18 goals on the year, just one in their last 4 matches, and they've now slipped to 15th overall in goals for here in USL Championship. Their conversion rate is down below 14%, and their accuracy is down to 40% overall. Meanwhile, playing in a Mexico United club who they're amongst the best in terms of accuracy with their shots, sitting just below 60%. The only club in USL Championship at that high a benchmark. And Xavier Flanagan slowly walking up there on that far touchline to Mexico United. We'll switch it across here to Abdi Mohammed.
It was such a pain to lose Santiago Patino, Solignac, key pieces there up top, and head coach Alan Marcina has had to do a lot to find guys, put them in different places they might be uncomfortable with, trade some people, bring some people in. Definitely has had quite the uphill battle. We'll have a look back at this chip there at the ankle. You can see it was not intentional. He's going for the ball, just got a piece of him there.
So Burroughs shown yellow for the 3rd time this year. Mitchell Tainer tonight, 7 cautions on the season. His next will bring about a 1-match suspension for card accumulation. Tainer tied for 4th in cautions in USL Championship. SAFC as a club, that was their 48th caution of the season. That's 6th most in the league. Mukwele Akali with an inviting ball here, and Kendall McIntosh able to come up and snag it.
Kendall McIntosh has been so good off his line, really proving that it doesn't matter whether you're 1st string or 2nd string. If you come in, you get your opportunity. It's about what you make of it. He's now really par for the course there with Pablo Cisniega, who's unfortunately been injured, has had to take a break. And in the meantime, Kendall McIntosh, he's working with a 70.6% save percentage. So doing pretty good back there as much as he can, you know. Again, all things considered, he got a different back line every time.
And he hasn't just, again, he hasn't gotten the offensive support from the guys up front. When SAFC, unfortunately, only has 2 goals in their last 4 matches and shut out twice by Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion, it's almost an impossible task asking a keeper basically to be perfect.
Yeah, and I think he's really stepped up to the task, but again, you can only do so much. But we've seen some killer saves from him, and you know, lots of good stuff to add to the highlight reel.
This is a foul.
Would have to see that one back.
Makava trying to establish some position here.
I'm not really seeing the foul there. Maybe it's an offside situation, but even then, that is, what is it, a pinky toe off? We saw with Switzerland earlier today, that goal called back during the Euros. I mean, no VAR here. I guess ref must have an eagle eye.
Yellow to Zico Bailey here in the 25th minute. Zico Bailey's amongst leaders in yellow card as well. That's his 7th caution of the season. Began the night tied for 9th amongst yellow card guilty parties in USL Championship. So Bailey and Bora both sitting on cautions here in the first half. New Mexico up 1 off an own goal in the 2nd minute. Shannon Gomez deep in the corner. Timbakis will handle that one. This has been a fun rivalry over the years between SAFC and New Mexico United that has dated back to 2019. This is the 12th all-time regular season meeting, and it is a 5-5-1 record. 5 wins, 5 defeats, 1 draw for both sides. About as even as you can get.
That is as even as you can get. And, you know, New Mexico right now is hoping for the best, but you got to hand to San Antonio because they're doing everything they can. It's just there's a lot of breakdown there in the attacking third. And, but, you know, when you have a rivalry like that where everything is so close, statistically speaking, it's hard to let it go.
New Mexico has won just 1 regular season match here at Toyota Field. Of course, they won the big one in the playoffs back in 2020. Off a goal in extra time from Chris Wehan. In the 102nd minute, the goal that, if you're a San Antonio FC fan, you're still smarting from, thinking it was a handball on Chris Wehan in added extra time. But instead, the goal was allowed to stand. New Mexico went through in the 2020 USL Championship playoffs, and San Antonio FC eliminated that year, but eventually got their start 2 years later. Although I have not seen New Mexico in the postseason since.
Might be a different season there for him, here for them.
Flanagan, the service across, it'll be turned out. Nelson Flores Blanco again making his home debut. Flores Blanco joining the club on the road trip. He's a 24-year-old in his 7th season. Represents El Salvador, but was born in Alexandria, Virginia, and spent a lot of time playing with North Carolina FC.
A real box-to-box guy, and we saw that the day he started playing here for San Antonio. He gets off the plane, didn't even get much of a warm-up, and just really gave his all. And I think San Antonio fans were really excited about that. Now it's just keeping everyone connected and trying to eliminate those seams that New Mexico just seems to keep finding.
Another direct ball, and this ends up going off of Anthony Herbert. A chance here on the run for LaCava. Herbert gets an arm, and that should be a yellow on Anthony Herbert. And a very professional foul by the 26-year-old right there as he picks up his 5th caution of the season here in the 28th minute.
I mean, there's not much you can do. Jake LaCava has all the jets. He knew he was going to beat him on that one. All you can do is pull a jersey and hope the ref keeps it as a yellow.
That's New Mexico's 41st caution of the season. They began week 17, 13th in yellow cards in the championship. Another set piece for SAFC, though. And again, the multitude of these set pieces, they've not been able to cash in here. In fact, they only have 2 set piece goals all season. Hernandez whips a good ball in. Although it rides right by everyone and out, it'll be awarded back to Timbakis. And well, you can already, Katie, see the sweat dripping from everybody out on the pitch tonight. Temperature at kickoff 93 degrees here as we take another look at this ball that rides right by everyone and out.
It couldn't have been a more perfect service in. And I mean, at that point, if you're a coach and you're looking at this, you're saying, who's diving for that header? Who is throwing their body into the mix for that ball? Where's the passion? You know, it kind of felt like it was a lot of looking and watching there. But great service in from Jorge Hernandez.
Akali, Zico Bailey. Nanan Hosu. And he'll switch across. Chris Gloucester will get up that left side touchline here, watched by Luke Hawkinson and Avion Flanagan. A nice combination here with Nanan Husu. And he'll ride off of Flanagan and return back to San Antonio.
Dan, you mentioned the temperature at kickoff, and that's the one thing about New Mexico is they're used to those temps.
Used to the temps, maybe not the humidity. Dew point tonight in the 70s, which makes it feel like 100 degrees out there. Another sticky summer night in South Texas. Challenged by Mitchell Tainer. New Mexico back on the ball. Should dry out by the time we really get into July, and then it's just, well, then it's just a flat out 100 degrees every single Saturday night from that point on until about late September or so.
I was going to say, even October, it's pretty toasty at times.
A foul on Flores Blanco. And a set piece here for New Mexico, a half hour in. The visitors on top by a goal here early. And they really haven't, since the goal, Katie, forced much of the issue. Obviously, for a New Mexico club that has struggled on the road, despite the fact that they leave the table with 28 points, trying to maybe solidify themselves as what they do best, and that's getting numbers back behind the ball and defending. They've been one of the better clubs this season in terms of goals conceded, just 18, which has them 7th overall in the championship entering tonight.
Right, and they do a really good job of overloading the midfield also, which causes a lot of problems for other people's defense. I mean, we've talked about that gap between the back line and the midfield there for San Antonio. They completely exploited that in the last game, and they do a great job of just staying compact, finding the seams, and just playing some really pretty soccer.
Mukwele Akali with a low ball, and Kendall McIntosh able to scamper over and secure it.
Quality hustle there from him. He knows much more to his advantage just to get that ball in his hands and get it moving quickly.
Kendall McIntosh, a couple of Wednesdays ago in Birmingham, became the 14th keeper in USL Championship history to come up with 300 career saves. Good touch there from Juan Agudelo, and Jorge Hernandez feeling the pressure, weaving his way here to the top, and again will earn another set piece for San Antonio FC. A little bit more of a direct one on here in a pretty good spot.
I would say great call there from the ref, because it was very chippy moving into that. They weren't giving him an inch of space, as you should as a defense, right? But good call there.
This one be about 25, 26 yards out here. And a real opportunity to go for goal for San Antonio FC, looking for an equalizer.
You know, San Antonio getting quite a few set pieces here. It feels like something's got to land. No doubt some of their best opportunities coming from set pieces. And here's Jorge. They close them down quickly. Got a couple of people in the mix. And it's this little nudge right here from Zico that is going to do it.
What a season it's been for Jorge Hernandez. He's tied for second in the championship with 5 assists. He's first in the championship in chances created with 45. And he's also tied for first in crosses attempted. He is the engine that makes SAFC run. Scored a world-class goal in Tulsa at the end, and unfortunately left SAFC a little bit short. Here's the run from Agudelo, and Agudelo! What a strike! Set up by Hernandez, and we're level 1 here in the 34th minute.
An absolute beauty of a set piece. I mean, like a clinic. San Antonio is now back in it. But man, let's look at this. It's just in the right sweet spot there. No man's land. Nobody's picking up on that run. And he takes it off the bounce. And there's been a couple of times where he's struggled in those moments, and it's been just shy, or it hits the post. And so when you see this go in here for Juan Agudelo, you know he's so happy to just be back to his winning ways, putting that ball away. And I think this is also a testament to that San Antonio FC mentality, right? I mean, you're down a goal early. Now you're back in it. There's still plenty of time. And that's the thing about culture. That's the thing that doesn't die, right? So now it's about trying to put a couple more away, but it's going to be interesting.
Juan Agudelo, his 4th goal of the campaign. That levels the match here in the 34th minute. Agudelo, his 16th career goal in USL Championship. And again, for New Mexico United, which hasn't generated much on this end of the field, it has been, for the most part, with the exception of that first goal allowed, all San Antonio here in the opening half, and finally rewarded. Talon Maples switching, dangerous, right through La Cava. And Abdi Mohammed will scamper over to come play it.
And as you can see here, Mexico does such a great job of just showing passing lanes.
Giveaway, and you almost wonder why La Cava didn't go for goal in that instance. Behind the play.
Just may not have been aware of the space that he had. And, you know, sometimes when you got back to goal, you assume that someone's right there on your heels, and you try to give someone a better look at goal. But yeah, he would have had plenty of space to turn, have to look back on it. Good hustle from Jorge Hernandez. And right there, maybe would have had a passing lane, but sometimes that's when you need your guys talking to you, letting you know that you have that option.
And that challenge from Akale puts him in the books in the 36th minute. That is the 3rd caution against New Mexico here. And again, San Antonio FC, they've been the better of the 2 clubs here in this first half. Now level here at 1. And now trying to pull ahead with, again, Jorge Hernandez, who picks up his league-leading 6th assist on Agudelo's goal over the ball. And again, searching out the back post, headed down. Is it a handball? It's a goal! It doesn't matter. It's Agudelo, his 2nd, and San Antonio FC's got the lead.
It feels like the tides are shifting, no? I mean, back-to-back goals. Bittersweet for both teams, whether it's an early goal or back-to-back goals. Both teams facing adversity in this moment. This is a game you want to see. My goodness, it's the placement, and you can tell that New Mexico isn't sure if they're going to call that one a handball. They kind of pause, and then it's Agudelo who takes advantage of it.
100% was a handball.
But good on the ref to let it play on, because that was 100% a goal. Better than taking your chances at PK, right? Which we've all learned the hard way from. But Juan Agudelo finding himself in the right spot at the right time multiple times today. And then that's when you begin to talk about good luck, bad luck. Well, how about just hard work, right? And intention and being at the right place at the right time. You know, it's easy to blame things on luck. And said you got guys coming back just like this. And this is what makes soccer so fun.
So what a response for San Antonio FC. They go down a goal, but again, really controlling the play here in the first half. They get back-to-back goals. And the first brace for Juan Agudelo in a San Antonio FC kit. And now New Mexico, they're going to have to force the action, which they haven't done much of here so far in this match. Quelle Akale is brought down inside the box, and a yellow, and if it's Akale shown yellow, he would be sent off. And he will be. But Quelle Akale has been now sent off for, I'm guessing, embellishment, trying to earn a penalty. Wow, what a massive turn of events here in this match.
Someone must have lit a candle somewhere and said a prayer, because I could not have put money on this comeback. But man, let's have a look here. He's going in. It's a great service in. And I mean, maybe it's a tad bit of a, I wouldn't say he's pulling a foul, but I think that's a bit of a harsh call.
To be honest, I'm a little speechless, especially with a guy already sitting on a yellow for a call like that to be made.
Yeah, I don't think that would constitute a yellow, but here we are. And you know what? That's the drama of soccer, right? I mean, whether he had gone down and it had been a PK or whether he gets a red, I mean, this is good TV, but
Well, let's see here. And a yellow to the bench now, too.
I think head coach Quill has every right to be really upset about that. I mean, now you're down a guy. You're down a goal.
It's a very suspect call by the center referee. Very suspect call. With a player who's already sitting on a yellow, it's not like he went down without contact. That is a very suspect call by the referee here.
Right.
If you want to just let him play on here. But there's contact in the back from Burra. A different referee, that could have very easily been a penalty.
Yes, this could have gone.
It's a two-hand shove in the back.
This could have gone a completely different way.
It's a bad call by the referee. It's good fortune for San Antonio FC, and they need all the fortune they can get. They're not going to apologize, but that's poorly done by the referee in this instance.
You know what they say is, as long as he's evenly calling bad calls for both teams, it's not so bad, but this is really looking like it's just great for San Antonio.
Well, and yeah, New Mexico now, a man down, a goal down here, 2-1. As we come upon halftime, it's going to be a long halftime in terms of adjustments for Eric Quill's club here as they try to find their way back into this match. But and it was funny when he pulls the yellow. My initial instinct was he's calling a penalty.
PK.
He's calling a penalty.
About to come out of my mouth until he started holding up that card.
He was holding up the yellow. Yeah.
Definitely something for the USL Championship to review.
And because Mukwele Akali will have an automatic one-match suspension because of that. Although we've seen at times that San Antonio FC's a man up not be at their best.
You just took the words right out of my mouth, and so don't count them out yet. And I think part of that is because, you know, you start to spread the field, you get a little eager for a goal, you're trying to cook it and bake it and find seams in because the other team is so compact, and all it takes is one breakaway, one moment out in transition to change things. And, you know, you've also mentioned, Dan, how they struggle in the second half, and a lot of it is that fatigue, and that comes up because of injuries and traveling and so many games. And if they want to turn things around, now is the time to do it.
A corner for New Mexico here. Tainer with a clearance. Hernandez rolling it back along, settled by Nanan Hosu, with pressure coming from Jorge Hernandez. The turn by Hosu. Nifty done there by this holding midfielder.
I love the footwork and the patience. I mean, he sees Jorge Hernandez coming in with jets fully fired up, and that's exactly what you do.
And if you're New Mexico United, you got to find a way to get service to Greg Hurst, who has barely made an impact in this match to this point.
He's been very quiet.
The service across, it's headed down. Knocked away by Kendall McIntosh. Zahdi Mohammed came forward to volley it back towards the top of that 6-yard box. Will concede the corner. As New Mexico trying to find an equalizer here before halftime.
And these are the kind of moments we're talking about. You just can't switch off, even if you're up a man. And look at that hustle and that effort there from Mohammed. Just, it's keeping them in this game. And really, anything can happen here.
Zico Bailey. Headed and in. What a goal! What a goal off the header for New Mexico United. Tremendous. And the visitors right back down a man, have leveled the match at 2.
You're down a man, it's a corner, and you somehow find the seam and the look at the goal, and it is beautiful. But San Antonio, they're going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves there on that last play. But look at this service in and the redirect. It's perfection. I mean, nothing Kendall McIntosh could have done there. Should there have been somebody on him? Absolutely. But my goodness, Abdi Mohammed, not only was he the one who created that corner kick, but he finished it. Absolute player of the game. It's only 45 minutes here in New Mexico. They are not giving up.
Well, a wild second half in store here. Level at 2 just before halftime. Abdi Mohammed's got his first goal with New Mexico United. Signed to a 25-day contract a month and a half ago. He levels things at 1. But again, SAFC will have a man up for the entire second half. And Greg Hirsch trying to make the run upfield, looking to get some service. This ball gets behind, and Chup Chol will return back here to Nelson Flores Blanco. It'll make the visitors feel good heading to the locker room. They probably feel like they've gotten the short end of the stick in terms of perhaps the call that has left them a man down, but they find themselves in a level match here. 45 minutes down with 4 minutes of added time coming on here at the end of the half.
The epitome of resilience, no doubt.
That's why they're at the top of the table right now in the Western Conference. You just sometimes, Katie, have to find a way to grind out results no matter the adversity. And that holds true for San Antonio FC and all 24 teams in this league.
Absolutely, and I mean, this feels like a whole game in just the first 45. 4 goals in the first half. What could possibly happen in the second half?
Back to Kendall McIntosh here. So Juan Agudelo with a first half brace, giving him 5 goals on the season. What a welcome back for Juan Agudelo. Missed the last couple of games with a lower body injury. His 4th and 5th goals of the season. And Abdi Mohammed in the 44th minute, leveling things at 2. But again, New Mexico United playing a man down the rest of the way after Mukwele Akali was sent off for a very suspect second yellow inside the SAFC box. The turn by LaCava to Jorge Hernandez. Or excuse me, rather to Juan Agudelo, who gets bumped down and will earn SAFC a free kick.
I would have looked for the drop shot personally. I know it would have been a deep drop shot, but not a bad idea. Getting another nice set piece. In a dangerous spot. Juan Agudelo just really having himself a game, and it kind of makes you wonder, did that rest help him so much? Yeah, he had that mild injury, but sometimes simply just having a little bit of rest can really reset you.
So SAFC, who had only scored 2 goals off the set pieces all season, they have 2 goals off set pieces here in the first half alone, and another chance with Jorge Hernandez over the ball. Hernandez. It's something on the way through, and Tambakis won't take any chances. He'll punch it out and concede the corner.
A lot of times when you're in the attack like that, you'll let the keeper come out and get it because you're not too sure if they're going to punch it out and if you're going to be in the middle of it. But what San Antonio did there, just put just enough pressure on them to force it into a corner. And so you got to hand it to them there. I think they're getting feisty here.
Meanwhile, Nicky Hernandez a little slow to get up after that sequence. We mentioned the rivalry between these two clubs, and another instant classic here already through 45 minutes in a 2-2 match with a tasty second half still to come. Well, we've seen some barn burners at Toyota Field over the years. And maybe another one in store here.
I mean, it must be something about these clubs, right?
Meanwhile, Jorge Hernandez lining up across the field here for the 4th SAFC corner of the half. Likely to be the last possession, you would think, before halftime. Matthew Corrigan, who's maybe not necessarily wanting to be at the center of things here in the first half, but has certainly made himself a figure here in the first 45 minutes. SAFC will play short. Now will service across and we'll head another one out for another corner.
Just keeping us on the edge of our seat all the way through extra time. Definitely a first half for the books. No matter what happens here.
With a short play. Hernandez to that back post. Brought down and sent wide.
Might be another questionable call here.
Yeah, they're sending another corner for SAFC.
Kind of looked like it might have been seen out there by New Mexico. Maybe just a tap, but really hard to say from that angle.
So they get a third corner here before halftime. One last go at it. Bending ball, top of the box, directed out. That will take us to halftime here at Toyota Field. What a first 45. SAFC goes down in the opening moments. Rattles back two unanswered with a brace from Juan Agudelo, but it's New Mexico United able to level right before halftime, and we are even at 2 as we go to the break here on Valley Sports.
What would you do if you won a big jackpot? Buy a new car, take a vacation, pay off your house, turn your dreams into reality at Texas' premier entertainment destination, Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game.
Hey, Dad.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Tradition. It's what we share.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
I'm Sarah, and this is our H-E-B Bakery watermelon cake. We've been decorating watermelon cakes for years and years, and we're always looking for a way to elevate for our customers. Our watermelon cake is a white cake, but it looks like a watermelon, and it tastes like one too. We started using watermelon buttercream, which perfectly captures that sweet watermelon flavor. Not only are you seeing the watermelon, you're tasting it too. The best part? No seeds. H-E-B brand products are made to be Texas favorites. That's why we created H-E-B Bakery watermelon cake. To Texas with love.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
God. I kind of lined you up too sharp.
I know, bro. It's just so bad. 10 seconds left. Like, I can't show you this in good faith, bro. Time.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Nice. Nice.
Wait. First off, before.
Listen, you don't need to make excuses. I get it.
Who's that?
I tried to just get your lineup at least. That's why I said I'm sorry, bro. I couldn't.
Were you like trying to draw a pancake or something?
Oh my goodness.
I think mine turned out pretty good.
What the hell is that? You tell me my lineup looks like that?
The green eyes was supposed to be boom on the dot. Beep, beep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I even got your maple leaf in there.
Oh, that's awesome. Bro, my eyes are down here. My I don't even know what that is, bro. I got an upside down face. Flip it upside down and it'll be all right. Okay. Yikes.
Sal got it! Sohan finishes it! Alabama with the yellow!
New flavors, the same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Going crazy. Gannon, cutting, back heel, Bennett, starter.
Here's space for Hanya. What about that? And the switchbacks jump out in front.
Here's Pacheco bearing down on goal. Pacheco brings one outfield to life. Oh my goodness! Sal got it. Solhead finishes it.
Sizzling outside, sizzling on the field in that first 45 minutes. San Antonio FC, New Mexico United level at the half at 2 apiece here on Valley Sports. As we say hello once again from the broadcast booth, Katie Goodman, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Wow, what talk about the rivalry between these two teams, and man, that was a fun first 45.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't on the edge of your seat, do you have a heart? Do you have a pulse? I mean, you don't even need caffeine here. I mean, it's a full game, and a first half is what it feels like, and I couldn't have even bet money on any of this playing out, and I guess that's what makes soccer so fun, right? But, man, one thing after the other here tonight.
Yeah, let's take a look at the highlights. And this didn't start out well for San Antonio FC. Shannon Gomez doesn't play this one well and turns into an unfortunate own goal off Mitchell Tainer.
Tough situation, and again, just struggling with communication at San Antonio FC. Both guys doing the best that they can. Mitch trying to cover that space that Kendall McIntosh had it, and it happens to the best of us. But it was this turnaround here, beautiful set piece. San Antonio really taking advantage of those tonight, and it's Agudelo off the half volley, the finish. I think some of the best stuff we've seen from him, and then it's here in the mix. He just finishes up and follows it through. It could have very easily been a handball, but instead, San Antonio keeps going and has that wide open look at net, and ref says play on.
Yeah, play through to the whistle. And then play through to the whistle, which Kwele Akali thought he was doing to earn a penalty, but this is a reversal and ends up being a yellow and a red card, and then Muhammad Abdi right before the half. What a world-class header.
An absolute amazing header. I mean, like clockwork here for him, but he should not have had that space at all. San Antonio's kicking themselves for some of these mistakes, but they're making up for it quite a bit, I think, in some of these really pretty set pieces, some of the developments we're seeing from them. Right now, they're a man up, and anything can happen in this game. We've seen it happen to San Antonio before. They're up a guy. They still walk away with a loss, so they've got a lot to talk about here in the locker room, and it's how do you be not too greedy? How do you still find those seams in, try to draw and create spaces? Yeah, there's only 10 guys on the other side, but that doesn't mean things really change here, and so it's about cleaning up the second half if you're San Antonio.
Well, the eye test tells you San Antonio FC's been the better team in the first half, and the numbers probably tell the exact same story as well. I mean, they have been dominant on the ball, Katie. They've had, as you've pointed out, multitude of set-piece opportunities here. They've been the better side.
Yeah, 8 shots, 61.4% for duels won. And that feels like the old San Antonio that we're used to seeing. I think it shocked a lot of the fans with that early goal, but it was that resilience, that mentality that kind of got them back into it, that grunt hard work. And that's why they're here right now. We talk about good luck, bad luck, but at the end of the day, it's hard work is what matters.
Okay, so San Antonio FC playing a man up and New Mexico playing a man down. It will be interesting how both coaches approach this second 45 minutes.
Right, and so it's partly being patient, not being too greedy. I think there were times where you had some guys perched up higher up in the field. They thought, okay, everyone's got defense covered, but instead it's a wide open shot for Mohamed, right? So you got to cross your T's and dot your I's. Don't get too excited just because you're a man up. Where you want to overload is in the box, right? Whether it's on defense or offense, just take care of business there and then try to coax them out. Try to find some passing lanes because you know what they're going to do. They're going to get really compact. And this is kind of the tough soccer to watch, right? It's just a bunch of trying to find seams and cooking it and baking it and hoping something goes in. Tons of crossing. So let's see if they can get creative here. It might be a way to put our new offense on display between Agudelo and Jake LaCava.
Yeah, both teams looking for a winner in the second half. We got more halftime coming up on the other side after this. 2-2 from Toyota Field here on Valley Sports.
Three nuns were driving through Austin and they got a flat tire. They stop in front of a frost bank. Next thing you know, a frost banker walks out and changes their tire? Hold on. This can't be real.
It's a real story.
And the nuns?
Yeah, they weren't even Frost customers.
Dude! You think I can be a nun?
Not a chance, sister.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call the fours.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Starting at $6.99, it's the ultimate solo meal. Get a personal pan pizza or melts and your favorite side. Combo like you never comboed before. No one outbeats the Hut.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
Brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Final Saturday in June at Toyota Field. Other matches across the Western Conference tonight in USL Championship. Colorado Springs up 1 at the half at home over Monterey Bay FC. Everything else later tonight. Orange County hosting Oakland Roots. Las Vegas welcoming in Pittsburgh in an interconference showdown in Sacramento Republic. We'll take on Hartford Athletic out at Hart Health Park in Sacramento, California. Second half coming up on the other side. We're level at 2. Second half is next here on Valley Sports.
I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game.
Hey, Dad.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Tradition. It's what we share.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know.
When
your family is growing, we're here for you throughout your pregnancy with just the right care and support for you, for your baby, as your family welcomes your newest little ray of sunshine.
Start of the second half here at Toyota Field. San Antonio FC, New Mexico United level at 2 apiece. This two-match homestand continuing for SAFC next Saturday night. It is our annual 4th of July festivities here at Toyota Field as SAFC will welcome in Phoenix Rising on July the 6th at 8 o'clock, presented by HEB. Fireworks after the game. Season is always presented by Toyota Field. Go to sanantoniofc.com, purchase tickets today. Phoenix Rising, they were thoroughly dominated last night on the road in Memphis, falling 5-1 to Memphis 901 FC. So they'll be a little steamed as they come to San Antonio next Saturday night, but there is still plenty up for grabs here in this second 45 minutes with SAFC and New Mexico level at 2. SAFC, which has lost 4 consecutive matches, which ties for the longest losing streak in club history back in 2018. It's the first time they've been 3 games under or back in the loss column since 2019. And meanwhile, New Mexico United trying to fight off the demons of the road, and they find themselves a man down, but yet locked into a 2-2 battle here as we begin things in the second half. With Katie Goodman and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here on Valley Sports. No changes to begin things in the second half. Same 11 for SAFC and the 10 that finished the first half for Eric Quill's New Mexico United.
In all things considered, being down a man, best thing that could have possibly happened was having a goal going to the second half. As you can see, they're getting pretty compact. You've got San Antonio moving that ball side to side.
LaCava. Nelson Flores Blanco trying to serve that one in, defend as it goes off over the byline, and it'll be a corner for SAFC, which is their 7th already in this match.
Great hustle there from him. Kind of came out of nowhere, and I think that's what Coach Marcina talks about with him being that box-to-box guy. He can just turn the jets on really quick and force that corner, and San Antonio's just done such a great job of that all night, being relentless.
Hernandez. It's kept alive by New Mexico and will prevent a corner. It'll be a throw here for San Antonio FC. Tim Backus was taking a look at it based on where it fell. Seemed a little hesitant in terms of coming over to collect. That time Jorge Hernandez unable to keep it alive. Back to New Mexico United here. We'll see how aggressive New Mexico plays on the attacking end in the second half. A man down. Are they just trying to seek out a result in their current predicament? Will they try to maybe find their opportunities to catch San Antonio FC a little bit lackadaisical if they can?
I think they very much could. They are a team that takes advantage of opportune moments. We've seen it time and time again. Yes, even with 11 guys, but I just, again, I think that second goal to tie it up going into the first half was definitely the heat check that San Antonio needed to come back as if nothing's changed.
Well, you see how their shape has changed here in the second half, that being for New Mexico. It's a very defensive posture with a 4-4-1. 2 blocks of 4 here now is Avion Flanagan. Needs a moment here after he gets tackled and a foul whistled on San Antonio FC. So you play those 2 blocks of 4 now, Katie, with just the lone striker and Greg Hurst up top. The initial, again, posture from Eric Cole says that maybe we're just playing for the 1 point at this point. But again, we're asking your club to do that for a full 45 minutes against the San Antonio FC club that desperately needs all 3. Could be a tall task.
Tall task indeed. But again, I would not put it past them. I think they're doing exactly what you have to do when you're down a man.
Flanagan looking for some support. Shannon Gomez. Turn it out. Going to throw to New Mexico United. The number of set pieces that San Antonio FC had in the first half was certainly impressive. And a penalty awarded to New Mexico United, which almost very well feels like a makeup call from what happened in the first half.
I wouldn't doubt that either. But again, if you're going to call it bad on one end, maybe call it bad on the other end. At least it's balanced, right? We'll have a look at it. It's a nice heel back there from Hurst. Shannon going for the ball, but part of me kind of feels like pulling the foul there too, but you can't blame them. I mean, they've got, again, opportune moments. They're taking advantage. That's what you do. And it's Taylor Maples up to the task.
Yeah. Well, but again, here's New Mexico United. This has been their one area of concern. They are 2 for 6 on penalties this season. Talon Maples, who scored the winner last Saturday night, he'll leave it to Greg Hurst, who has the other penalty goal this season. So here we go. Trying to give, again, the visitors their second lead of the night on a penalty awarded. The foul on Shannon Gomez as it's Hurst over the ball looking for his 7th goal of the season. New Mexico United, 2 for 6 on penalties this year. And the look, dummy Pacheco, and it's a goal for Hurst, sending McIntosh the other way.
It's a game that you can't take your eyes off of. It's just one thing after the other. And yes, the Panenka. It's not quite the Panenka, but it's the hesitation and just really easy into the side. Good stuff there from Greg Hurst. It's just having the audacity to throw a few tricks in the mix there too.
Number 7 of the season for Hurst in the 50th minute. And New Mexico with their second lead of the night, 3-2.
Look at the foul again. Again, such a quality heel pass, just putting that pressure in there, but again, really hard to say. It feels like a makeup call. And you can't even fault Kendall McIntosh either. I mean, he's done everything he can out here tonight.
Be a yellow on Agudelo.
Not much to argue there. Just take the yellow and move along. The foul served its purpose. And especially with the ref who loves to dish it out, the last thing you want to do is have any extra words.
Boy, this game has swung in so many different ways tonight. San Antonio FC went down early, grabbed themselves a 2-1 lead on 2 goals within a couple of minutes, and now find themselves down again as Flanagan's header is secured by Kendall McIntosh.
It feels unpredictable at best.
LaCava will run this one down. Zambakis.
Not a bad development, just not quite there.
Good step up by Mitchell Tainer. Again, this one through LaCava.
And those are the moments where you need people finding seams and showing him options. I mean, you've got the field spread. You got a couple of yellow jerseys out of the mix. This is where you can overload the field, but not if people aren't moving to receive it. Kind of a strange vibe here in the stadium.
It certainly is, because
a little quiet, a little concerned. Kind of like the presidential debate.
Another foul here on Luke Hawkinson. And I guess the strange vibe is because it goes back to the second yellow on Aquali at the end of the first half, and a call that didn't need to be made. Because as Hurst trying to run this one down, and it'll be awarded back to Kendall McIntosh, you almost get the sense that if that call doesn't get made, that foul from Shannon Gomez doesn't get called on the penalty, and we're sitting here right now at 2-2 at a level match.
Right. I mean, I will say, physically, it has not gotten out of hand. We're not seeing a bunch of pushing and shoving and benches being cleared, and that's part of, calling every little thing. But my goodness, this kind of takes it to another level.
Flanagan. It's Kendall Burks back to play.
New Mexico still not holding back on putting pressure there and forcing San Antonio to do something, but that's also exactly what they want. But when you've got that and you've got some guys up top, you need to find those seams quickly through the middle and play fast up the field. Now they're set and they're back, and it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Flag stayed down. Talon Maples. The play forward. Shannon Gomez the turn. Here's Jorge Hernandez. Ball across, anticipated. Nicky Hernandez. The challenge won by Flores Blanco. Ashok Chol out wide. With a run by Flores Blanco.
Some good movement there from Luke Hawkinson. This is where you want to look backside. Got Jorge Hernandez camped out right there. If you can get it to him.
Agudelo stripped from his feet. Quickly with Hernandez. Hernandez gets thrown down. They'll play the advantage, and now they'll bring it back and make the call.
You can see the tension rising there for San Antonio, starting to force things, kind of getting in a pickle in a weird spot. They just need to take a breath, settle down, and play their kind of ball. But they're trying to rush things a little bit.
And again, playing a man up, and with plenty of time left, still over a half hour remaining. There doesn't have to be a sense of panic yet for the home side. But again, after securing the lead, going up a man, only to see the visitors come back with back-to-back goals to take the lead. I'm not sure SAFC thought that this was the position they'd be in here at this point. Here's Hernandez inviting as that bench back here. Tambakis settling underneath it.
I mean, that ball dropped all the way below his shoulders, so just not a ton of people there to challenge it. He didn't even have to come up to meet the ball.
Another foul on San Antonio.
I was going to say, this is where you begin to wonder if they're going to start throwing some fresh legs in here. If you're San Antonio, this would probably be the time to do it, as long as who you've got on the bench is healthy enough to, withstand last remaining minutes of the game. But that's where you're going to win this. It looks like even San Antonio is feeling kind of fatigued, even being a man up.
It's a fresher bench than it's been in weeks for Alan Marcina, with Cameron Lacey and Hugo among others that are on the bench tonight. In terms of players that can add something on the attacking end. Slip ball. Hurst's shot is directed out by Kendall Burks, and it'll be a corner for New Mexico, which will only be their fourth of the evening.
I think Hurst might have heard us in the booth in that first half, saying he was quiet, because really, really not quiet here in the second half. Shifty guy. That's why he's that point man.
Zico Bailey off by the far stick here to take the corner for New Mexico. Already one goal from a corner kick this evening. Off the back heel, Hernandez with Hurst. And the flag is up in an offside position on New Mexico United.
Kind of feels like it's getting a little too close for comfort there for San Antonio. Again, despite being a man down, they've still shared quite a bit of time on the other side of the field. And yes, you want to make them run, you want to make them chase, so that's why you've got guys, cleats to chalk, even on the other side of the field.
Flag up on San Antonio FC. Katie, back-to-back matches in which SAFC has conceded 3 goals. The 6 total is the most they've given up in consecutive games since August of 2019. A lot of these numbers have gone back since in the regular season. They predate the arrival of Alan Marcina. It has been unfamiliar territory for the San Antonio FC club in the 5 years that Alan Marcina has been at the helm. They've been tight man marking, defending, and they've been in a rare position where they have been at times just not clearly in a position where they have found success. And it's just, again, it is unusual to see for San Antonio FC fans. Nicky Hernandez. It's a winding ball there on Kendall McIntosh, who holds onto that one.
You can chalk a lot up to unluckiness, whether it's injuries or, accidental own goals. It all happens, but you also can't deny some of the communication breakdowns or some of the turnovers that are happening. Sometimes that comes from fatigue, right? Too many games, making up for not ever having a sub because everyone's been so injured. You're playing full 90-plus minutes every single game back-to-back. That's tough at this level. But there are some things definitely that, as a coach, I'm sure is difficult to manage.
Burks. Back to McIntosh.
I think in that situation, maybe McIntosh could have looked for Nelson on the first time, and that would have switched the field a little bit quicker, might have opened up some seams. Again, asking for perfection here.
There's a chance. Hawkinson. Tambakis easily along his line.
There are really bright moments here for San Antonio, getting into good scoring positions, even into good final crossing positions. But at the end of the day, it's goals that win games.
Right now, the go-ahead goal belonging to Greg Hurst, his 7th of the season. And a Panenka-type strike from the spot to give New Mexico United the lead that they currently enjoy here in the 63rd minute. The San Antonio FC have an answer. Playing a man up, you would figure that they should have all the momentum and all the wind behind their back, and yet it is an eerily quiet Toyota Field here on a Saturday night. Maybe it'll get a little bit louder here with another set piece coming up and a yellow card to be shown to Nicky Hernandez. That is 5 yellows to the visitors tonight, as we'll get 3 substitutes coming on for New Mexico here with Deon Harris, Daniel Bruce, and Arturo Astorga all coming on here now at the hour mark.
Coach probably not wanting to risk another double yellow situation.
So Avion Flanagan, Greg Hurst, and Nicky Hernandez all coming off. Again, it's Astorga, Bruce, and Deon Harris all coming on. So again, up a goal for New Mexico. They'll take off their striker, Hurst, not needing another goal in this instance. And they'll look to, again, more of the way that they can defend a man down here in these final 30-plus minutes or so, including added time. And the set piece here, again, for San Antonio FC in the 65th minute. Drops down here into the box, and the whistle blows before the penalty deposits it in. Agudelo called for the foul.
You know that hurts. Look back at it here. Good service in, just puts it in the mix. Things like it bounced around there. I just don't really see where that foul is. I mean, he's not pushing. His hands are up. Maybe it was a handball. Well, look. He gets his foot in the mix. He's not tripping anybody. Now, Daniel Bruce, another guy who trails in goals right behind Greg Hurst. 3 is really hot off the bench. Kind of his role there on the team is bring the spark. So, yeah, he might be substitution, but it's just a tough cookie to go up against right now.
There's a giveaway by San Antonio. They'll regain possession here with Jorge Hernandez. Again, the way New Mexico's compacted the field and switched again to this 4-4-1 formation, it doesn't feel like SAFC is a man up here at this point.
It doesn't. They're leaving the weak side wide open, and what San Antonio isn't seeing is that big, quick switch that, hey, maybe a direct ball doesn't look as pretty, but, you know, you send a ball over from the opposite outside back or center back, then it can really make something happen. But
Hernandez volleying it across. That's dangerous. No whistle. We play on. 2 bodies down inside the 6-yard box for San Antonio FC, but there was no call to be had. Hawkinson. Hernandez.
really impressive defending from New Mexico. You have got to hand it to them. Defending like a unit beautifully, not worried about the big switch because it's not happening.
Mashup Cho, Jake LaCava, Agudelo, Hawkinson, one step and over goal, over the crossbar. And every time San Antonio FC puts one over and out, it's a win for that back line for New Mexico United. Agudelo with the 2 goals tonight, his first brace with San Antonio FC. Tambakis with a historic 1 save in this match, his 573rd, tying him with Evan Newton for the most ever in USL Championship play. It's off of Deion Harris, or rather Chris Gloucester, and awarded back to San Antonio.
Speaking of Deion Harris, a guy who is second on the team for shots, on goal 15. So again, just quality substitutions here, and I think maybe that's the difference between these teams right now, is the depth that New Mexico United has in their back pocket, even being a man down.
Deion Harris, former teammate of Jake LaCava at Tampa Bay Rowdies. Here's Jorge Hernandez. Nifty in the box. One too many touches, though, as he goes down. San Antonio fans again wanting a penalty, seeing their playmaker go to ground inside the box as New Mexico clearing it down the field.
Try to pull off a Maradona in the box with 3 people on you, you're not going to get the call because you're exposing the ball too much. And then it was clearly trying to draw a foul. So, I mean, San Antonio fans can be as angry as they want, but that's a tough one to pull. He might have been better off just running right through it.
I mean,
getting bodied a bit.
You almost expect that it's going to have to be so egregious at this point for the center referee to give you a call like that based on what has already taken place, because in his mind, he's probably felt he's already leveled the playing field, even though the match is not level on the scoreline. But he's given San Antonio FC a man up. He's given New Mexico United a penalty.
The real wild card here tonight was the center referee. I think
is a good point, yeah. And again, you just feel like it's going to have to be something so egregious, a handball, or an outright tackle in the box if San Antonio FC is going to earn a penalty from that spot to try to find an equalizer. We'll likely have to do it again with the ball on the feet of Jorge Hernandez, making something happen off a set piece as Cameron Lacey is going to come on here for some added offensive firepower, and Shannon Gomez will head off here in the 70th minute as Lacey comes on for SAFC for the 16th time this season, still looking for his first goal with SAFC after scoring 10 times at Minnesota United FC 2 last year in MLS Next Pro. Hawkinson over the top. The runner is Lacey, but he's in an offside position as the flag goes up.
Not a bad idea to change into a more direct formation, leaving it at 3 or 4 in the back. I would want to see 3 center backs and find a little more people in the middle of the field so that you can help that switch happen. There's been a couple of times they find a little bit of space in the middle of the park, and all it takes is a chip over the back line and you're in. But again, this is a bird's eye view that we're looking at here, so I've been there where lots of other people can see it, but from your spot on the field, it's hard to see. But it also feels like anything can give right now.
Agudelo able to take that one away from Daniel Bruce, and now San Antonio FC on the counterattack here. The ball to Lacey. Short side and skies it wide and over goal. Nicely done, though, by Juan Agudelo, impeding the space of Daniel Bruce to win the duel, setting off Lacey, but Lacey unable to get it on target.
It was good movement, getting in behind the back line. Yes, it was a 1v1 situation. Really quality defense there from Talon Maples. Again, New Mexico just killing it on the defensive side. But in those moments, that's where you try to draw the corner. You know, you've already cut your angle off. It's going to be really hard to sing one right into that upper 90. That's where he was really aiming for. You just got to pick your battles. Again, easier said than done when you know you're running 100 miles per hour, full momentum towards the goal. So
it's a dangerous one that ends up at the feet of Dayon Harris, just at the edge of the box. Bruce dispossessed. Gloucester. Nanan Hosu keeps it alive until it's off of Gloucester and back to San Antonio. Approaching the final quarter hour of the match with New Mexico up a goal off a penalty from Greg Hurst in the 50th minute. Penalty conceded by Shannon Gomez inside the box. As New Mexico United trying to seek out their first win at Toyota Field since September of 2021. Bruce tracked this one in the corner.
some fancy footwork and still holding on to that ball. Gotta hand it to him.
Well, and if he was at Isotopes Park, he'd hear the chants of Bruce. Meanwhile, here's Lacey getting free. Lacey drives it off the side of goal. FC. And again, short side trying to beat the keeper, plays it off the side of the webbing.
You've got to admire the passion. He wants it. And man, he did all the hard work to get there. He had the defender beat. He had the 1v1 with the keep. He even cut in on his angle. He had such a good look. And again, a lot of times it's just your legs kind of give out in those moments. And I got to hand it to the keep too. He did close down his angle quite a bit. Tambakis came off his line really quick and made himself as big as he could, and sometimes that does the trick, just to add a little bit of pressure. It feels like one of those games that just nobody knows what to expect. 1 minute you're on your feet, the next minute you're defeated.
Bruce. Zico Bailey. Abdi Mohammed. His world-class header in the 44th minute really was the turning point of the match for New Mexico, who, considering, again, the demons they've been up against on the road this season with just 3 wins in 8 matches, an entirely different side away from Isotopes Park, and a man down, they could have very easily have packed it in, but Mohammed's goal gives them life just before halftime, despite being a man down, and they've been playing with sky-high confidence ever since.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Now they're defending like their life depends on it because there's a chance, and haven't even had a ton of set pieces, just took advantage of the one.
Ashok Chol. And the one area for San Antonio FC that has really haunted them all season has been trying to find something late, especially as of late, to equalize. They've been close. They've been in these 1-goal matches, whether it was at Tulsa or at Indy 11, and just have not been able to find a late equalizer.
I think part of that's fatigue, part of it is injury, and
Olakava takes it beautifully, puts it across, and defended again beautifully. That was Talon Maples denying that pass across. Here's Burra.
Impeccable read from Talon.
And a giveaway from San Antonio. Astorga just drive it back into Kendall McIntosh's direction. Hernandez stays onside. They were looking for the flag. Flag stayed down. And Zico Bailey weaves through 3 and releases ahead. San Antonio FC fortunate to get possession back on the ball after Zico Bailey, his best impression of dribbling through a crowd.
Key role that he plays with Mexico United. Does a New Mexico United. It's just a great job of filling the space, drawing defenders in, finding seams. Kind of shakes things up out there, but for me, Nana Hosu, it's the composure on the ball, the quality of passes, just the footwork. I mean, he's been such a key piece here of especially keeping Jorge Hernandez at bay. So many times they've gone toe-to-toe, and he just doesn't give them anything easy.
Here's a chance, Hernandez! Back to Tambakis.
Almost had to put my foot in my mouth there.
Give him a little bit of space, and he can make something happen.
A great look there from Mitch Tainer. Again, Cameron Lacey just put in hard work, and it looks like a miss-hit on the ball. Really uncharacteristic there, Jorge Hernandez.
Off of Burra. San Antonio FC, the healthiest they've been in quite some time. After 76 man games lost due to injury or international call-ups in the first 16 weeks of the regular season. And yet still, the score line for them is a familiar one as it's been over the last 5 matches. Down the goal here late in the second half.
Good on San Antonio not to argue that call. Half of both teams sitting on yellow cards right now.
2 yellows to SAFC with Bura and Juan Agudelo picking up yellows, but 5 cautions to New Mexico tonight, including a double yellow that was, in our opinion at least, wrongly assessed on Mukwele Akali inside the box that resulted in a red card right before the end of the half. And at the time, San Antonio had the lead 2-1, and it's since that time, like we said, Katie, San Antonio FC, they get up a man, and that always hasn't been the best strategy for them.
Yeah, it feels like it might be a mental thing, but I think where they struggle is when the opposing team's defense is so compact, defending like a unit like New Mexico is doing right now. And I think part of that is having the stamina, working with the skeleton crew, having the stamina to make those runs and those checks and make things happen, maybe getting a little prematurely excited about being on the offense and instead just playing like nothing's changed.
Let's take a look at the Western Conference table here with San Antonio FC in an odd position at the bottom of the table. 17 points, sitting in 11th. New Mexico United, top of the Western Conference, 28 points. 3 clear of Sacramento, and Memphis was a winner again last night over Phoenix Rising. Phoenix will be here next Saturday night. Our annual 4th of July match. And another club that SAFC's got a long history with over the years, Phoenix Rising FC, who after winning their first star last season, they have, I would think by many experts' opinion, underachieved considerably, Katie, this year.
And they're at the bottom of the table, such a small points differential that still we have a whole half of the season left. Anybody in the bottom 4 or 5 could go in or out of playoffs at this point, but not if people don't start turning things around here.
SAFC back to the bench here as Hugo will come on. He has been out of action for quite some time between injury. And he'll come on for Gora as Hugo will make his 7th appearance of the season. He's been a little bit of an offensive firecracker at times, Katie, but again, the player where injury has kind of kept him off the field many nights.
Right, and that kind of alludes to, hey, they've got some more guys here on the bench, but with limited minutes. So San Antonio, where most teams would be making substitutions, they're still trying to play their cards right.
Some international duty as well for Hugo in South Sudan. Agudelo, and again defended out by New Mexico, will concede the corner. Eighth corner of the evening for San Antonio FC as the minutes continue to tick. Hernandez to the outside, looking in Taylor's direction, and the clearance made. It's like not Avion Flanagan rather, but Nanan Husu. Turned his ankle trying to clear that one out, and he's slow to get up and slow to move here. And the substitute, Cam Ryden, getting set to come on here for New Mexico. LaCava looking for a window. Hawkinson. And we get a handball to be whistled here. This one called on Chris Gloucester. And so the handball on Gloucester, a set piece for San Antonio from the edge of the box. And another substitute for New Mexico with Husu, who appeared to twist his ankle on the last sequence. As you see the handball from Gloucester, and Caitlin Ryden will come on as the substitute here.
Whenever Luke Hawkinson has a look at goal, you expect that ball to go in because every shot that he has taken has just been such of high quality. So when you see a deflection like that, you know, okay, something got in the mix. And lucky for San Antonio here, have another go at it.
So the veteran Caitlin Ryden is on for his 108th appearance. The New Mexico United trailing only Daniel Bruce all-time club history. Meanwhile, Jorge Hernandez with a chance of the equalizer here in the 85th minute. Hernandez going for goal and knocked aside by Tim Backus. What a save by the keeper, and it's a record-setting one at that for the Mexico backstopper.
Through the wall, through traffic, they continue to play on.
That one to the back post. That's dangerous in front, and that one is turned wide on the athletic bicycle attempt from Juan Agudelo looking for number 3.
Again, just another look at this set piece right through the wall. You've got to hand it to Tim Backus. And the yelling, you know he is not happy that that went through the wall. But here, the ball just all over the place, right? You got to admire the effort there from Agudelo. He is really on fire tonight, but that would have been a really hard one to get to. There just wasn't enough leverage on the ball there.
So Tim Backus making just his second save of the night, but a record-setting one at that gives him the all-time lead in USL Championship history in saves for a keeper. A dynamite stop on Jorge Hernandez's bending ball. And how many more chances will San Antonio FC get like that? Lacey pushing this one out wide. Nelson Flores Blanco. LaCava. Hawkinson. Outside, Lacey making the run off of Lacey. And it's been a tough run for the second half substitute Cameron Lacey, twice as misfired. And this time conceding here back to the keeper.
Again, you got to admire the effort. Only a matter of time if he can just keep getting himself to a good scoring position. It's going to land. It's just having that hope, not letting it hit the ego. Doesn't matter. It's already in the past. Get back in the saddle, make it happen this time. Try to get that in the back of the net. But you got to hand it to New Mexico. Defending the top of the 18 area, they're not giving them anything from distance that isn't a set piece.
Last substitute of the night for New Mexico United is Marco Micheletto. Comes on. Dayon Harris, who was the second half substitute, will come off, and Micheletto is on to finish the match. Talon Maples.
And again, just Micheletto, another really quality substitution. Speaking to the depth of this New Mexico team, leads the team with 17 chances created, yet is coming in at this point in time in the game. Kind of makes you wonder if they're not maybe saving them for the next game or what's going on there, but
only the second time he's come off the bench this year. Both times have come against San Antonio FC. Hernandez. There's Flores Blanco. Cutting back to the middle of the park. Tanner. Mashop Joel. Hugo's ball will come across here now. Here's Hawkinson. Low service defended by Talon Maples out. As we close in on the 90th minute of the match. San Antonio FC down a goal.
Down a goal, up a man, looking for a single point here.
Macava, bumped in the back, no call. I mean, again, we have seen...
The consistency is not there.
We have seen calls that we have been befuddled at. We've seen no calls that have brought about the same amount of befuddlement. But as mentioned, you almost feel like it has to be egregious at this point.
Yep. And again, the wild card here in this game is the ref. Quality to both sides, accidents on both sides, but also it's one heck of an interesting game. And I think, you know, sometimes that's the qualm that a lot of fans and supporters have, is sometimes the reffing is a little bit inconsistent. Dramatic, yes. Entertaining, yes.
Yep, they're human. They make mistakes just like the rest of us, but it wouldn't be fair to say that he has not had an important impact on this match tonight. 5 minutes of added time here at the end of the second half.
And I don't like to blame things on the refs. I think that's kind of a way out, but in this one, this is pretty rough.
Well, and again, because of that, you almost feel like the soccer gods are giving us what should be a level match when all comes to a conclusion, but that's still up for determination here. 5 minutes of added time. San Antonio FC down a goal, playing up a man the entire second half. Can they get that equalizer? Lacey pushes one into the box, and yet another corner awarded here. Number 10 of the evening to San Antonio FC.
Patting back from down Maples. Good sportsmanship there.
Macava. Hernandez. That one headed away.
And it's not for a lack of effort at all.
Hugo. In San Antonio FC, they were looking for a handball inside the box. Kendall McIntosh well off his line, playing it forward.
Something to be careful for. Don't want to get chipped.
Awarded back to Tim Backus here, and he can kill off a little bit more time. Some of the opportunities here in the second half where San Antonio FC was looking for a penalty after New Mexico got one, and they just were not meant to be here, Katie.
Yep, and it just feels like that goal is coming, like it's just on the tip of your tongue, but...
And like I said, it seems deserved. This match feels, based on where it's gone tonight, it feels deserved to end level. And it may not end that way for San Antonio FC, who's just dealt with an unfortunate run of bad luck here over the last month and a half. Tonight they found themselves down early. They came back and took a lead 2-1. They went up a man after grabbing the lead, only to see a tremendous goal from Abdi Mohammed level things before halftime. But here they go. Mashok Cho. Great challenge there from Kalen Ryan, the veteran, to turn that one out.
He was not about to give up anything in that moment, and that's what just makes him a quality defender. This entire back line here for New Mexico, zero space to San Antonio, ruthless.
A couple of minutes remaining here in added time. Hernandez. Lacey. Lacey's going to get it back with a chance. Great save to Backus. That one doesn't get through. Off the feet of Nelson Blanco. Off of Luke Hawkinson will land back to Tim Backus. Tremendous defending on the outside by Chris Gloucester.
Being patient, standing him up. You know their legs are so dead. They've been defending for the vast majority of this half. And to have that composure in that moment, not give up another cross. It's quality stuff there from Gloucester. But you also look back on it, and it's not about making the perfect pass or the perfect cross. There's a yellow for time wasting.
He'll take the yellow if he could take all 3 points. He'll gladly trade that one. He's in the record books as the keeper who has more saves than any player in USL Championship history. He's made some outstanding ones here in the last 10 minutes or so, and has about 30 seconds or more remaining to secure 3 points for the visitors in what arguably may be one of their biggest wins of the season, considering the circumstances. The Panenka goal on the penalty by Greg Hurst, number 7 of the season, early in the second half stands as the difference here, as New Mexico's all-time leader, Daniel Bruce, with 122 matches in yellow and black, needs an extra moment.
Like a bit of a whiplash, hands on the back coming from Hawkinson. He's trying to beat him to the ball, and I don't think he saw him coming.
San Antonio FC staring at, we've gone through all these numbers where SAFC has been undefeated when doing this, undefeated when doing this. They have not lost in their last 43 matches when scoring 2 or more goals dating back to 2022. They have now. New Mexico United exercises the demons of the road. Down a goal, down a man. They come back and take all 3 points here tonight at Toyota Field with an improbable victory against their rivals from San Antonio FC.
Against all odds, and it shows you why they're number 1. Because despite everything, the crazy calls, being down a man, they showed up anyway. They leaned on the depth of their bench, and it's not just the starting 11, it's this entire squad, everybody who made this happen today. Unfortunate, unlucky stuff for San Antonio. Could have been a very different result. Again, wild card in a ref, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is the end result and what you do in the moment with what you have. And San Antonio, something they got to figure out is how to change things when they're up a man.
5 consecutive losses for San Antonio FC for their first time in club history as they hit the halfway point of the regular season. Second half will begin next Saturday night when Phoenix Rising FC comes to town. All the action of that match right here on Valley Sports, beginning at 8 o'clock. Get your tickets at sanantoniofc.com. Now for Katie Goodman, our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. New Mexico United a winner tonight, 3-2 over SAFC. This has been a presentation of Spurs Sports and Entertainment and USL Championship. So long, everybody.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.